Hi, my name's Evan. I've been working with Massasauga rattlesnakes on and off for the last 10 years, and I'm going to teach you what to do if you get bit. A deeper dive is to follow, but if you're watching this in an emergency, here's what you do. Step 1, don't panic. You will be okay. Step 2 is going to be to take off anything restrictive. If you get bit on your hand, you're going to want to take off rings, bracelets, any tight clothing. If you get bit on your foot, you might want to remove your shoe depending on how far you are if you need to walk out. The third thing you're going to want to do is get yourself to a hospital. The Perry Sound District Hospital is the only one that carries antivenom, although you might not need it, and they can send it to other hospitals if you can't reach the Perry Sound one. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's get into some more details. It's been over 50 years since anybody died from a Massasauga bite. There has only ever been 2 recorded deaths from a Massasauga rattlesnake bite, and those people were untreated. So they didn't go to a hospital, they didn't get any help from a doctor. I can't really find more details on what did transpire, why they didn't seek help, but everybody who's ever gone to a hospital and gotten help has recovered. It might suck, it might hurt, it'll be a bad time, but you will be okay. Once you've been bit, you're going to want to identify the snake. There's a lot of snakes around that look very similar. I work with rattlesnakes, and sometimes I see water snakes and think that they're rattlesnakes. They're pretty similar looking. There's also eastern hognoses, fox snakes, but there's some key differences in the way that they look. One of the most identifiable features of a Massasauga rattlesnake is its bow ties or its saddles. Rattlesnakes can vary a lot in size. If they're a baby rattlesnake, they can be teeny tiny, but they grow up to about 70 centimeters. They have a bit of a stout body. They're pretty thick, especially if it's a gestating female. She will be pretty thick. Gestating means like pregnant, by the way. The Massasauga rattlesnake has a diamond head shape, which is different from all of the snakes in the area. And another unique feature is their rattle, although it can be deceptive because the non-rattlesnakes have learned to shake their tail in leaves, and that creates a sound kind of similar to a rattle. They do this to keep themselves safe because things know to stay away from rattlesnakes. And also, just because it's a rattlesnake doesn't mean that it actually has a rattle. If the snake is too small, you might not be able to hear the rattle, or sometimes their rattles get broken off. They're made of keratin and they're quite easy to break. So you might get bit by a snake and think, oh, well, I didn't hear a rattle, it must be fine, and it might not be. Once you confirm that you were indeed bit by a Massasauga rattlesnake, your first step is going to be to calm down just because you want to keep your heart rate low. It's best if you don't have to walk anywhere, but if you're out on a trail, you'll probably have to walk back, but just take it easy. The higher your heart rate is, the more stressed you are. It just might quicken your reaction to the venom. The second step is going to be take off anything restrictive because when you get bit by a rattlesnake, you swell up a lot. And if you're wearing anything restrictive, I'm wearing rings almost all the time, those might get stuck onto you. You're going to want to make sure you're just not cutting off circulation. Cutting off circulation can damage the limb. But your next step is going to be immobilizing the limb. So if I got bit on my hand or my arm, I would put it in a sling and keep it close to me. You're going to want to keep that limb below the heart if possible, and that will just help with swelling. After all that, you're going to want to get to a hospital. As I said before, the Perry Sound Hospital is the only one who carries the antivenom, but they do send it out to other hospitals if necessary. But a lot of the times, the hospital just kind of monitors you. They monitor your swelling and your symptoms. They just make sure your circulation is good and that you're okay. A lot of people don't get antivenom. They just don't need it. It can be more harmful than the venom itself. If it'll be a little bit before you can get to a hospital, a good thing to do is to mark down the area of swelling and write down the times. This will just let the hospital know how quickly things are progressing, and the more the hospital knows, the better they can treat you. There are a lot of misconceptions about what to do when you get bit by a snake, stuff that you've seen in old Western movies. I am going to dispel some of these right now. 1, never put on a tourniquet. You're going to cut off the circulation, and that is not going to help. The venom stays localized. Cutting off circulation is not going to prevent anything. It's just going to cut off circulation. Never try to suck venom out. That's not how that works. You're not going to get any of it out, first of all. And second of all, if you did, you are going to get venom into your mouth. Rattlesnake venom makes you swell. So you do not want that anywhere near your mouth or your throat. That would just cause a way bigger emergency. You also don't want to cut the skin to try and cut out the venom. And it might be hot and uncomfortable, but you're not going to apply ice. The swelling could make you numb, and if you applied ice directly to that, you could give yourself frostbite and not even realize. So you're just going to want to avoid doing all those things. The only treatment you're going to get is from a hospital. So you have to calmly make your way to one. And of course, prevention is the best medicine. Despite working out on the land for the last 10 years, I have never been bit by a rattlesnake. Whenever I go out to look for rattlesnakes, I always carry a snake hook with me that I can kind of use to lightly poke into bushes and stuff before I take a step anywhere I can't see. And I wear closed toed shoes. I'll wear gaiters if I don't have boots available. Rattlesnakes can only bite a distance of half of their body length, so it's really not that much. Most people get bit by accidentally stepping on them. If you don't have a snake hook, you could use a branch or anything to kind of poke around, make sure that you're not stepping blindly right onto a snake. They're beautiful little creatures. I absolutely love them, and they just want to be left alone. Thank you for watching. I hope you feel a little bit more prepared on what to do if you ever get bit by a rattlesnake. Although, if you take the proper precautions, odds are very, very low. Ooh, there's a bird. Damn. You have anything to say? No? Okay. Okay, bye.